welcome back to our YouTube channel. Well, we've got a bit of a treat for us today because in today is my beast. So with every garage we all have a project car. We were looking for a relatively modern new platform that we could modify and get to some serious power. So we've been looking around for a car and one just presented itself into my lap, and it is the Facelift 21 plate Cupra Ateca. This runs the E888 Gen 4 engine platform, and it basically is paired with the new Continental Turbo, so it has really high tuning capabilities. As I said, this is a project. We aren't turning into Matt Armstrong or anything like that, but we are going to show you the vehicle that we bought, the things that we've done to kind of repair it, what things were wrong with it, why we got it as cheap as what we got it, and essentially we're going to get it up to full power. So the aim, I think, is 455 brake horsepower, Aidan. Am I correct with that? Yes.
Oh,
so
yeah.
From stage 2 tuning with an intercooler and an intake and a bigger turbo elbow, that's some serious numbers, which you wouldn't really think a mini SUV would be capable of.
Well, 450 is like the goal, in it.
Yeah, so
and
that's
anything
the goal.
above is a bonus, in it.
Yeah. So we're going to do a short pan, probably back to some like a screen record, so you can see exactly what the damage was on the HPI of this. But essentially it was a headlight, a bonnet, a wing, a bumper, and there was some damage to the front strut. I believe it kind of, the wheel had kind of come back on itself, and then there was some invisible damage that I don't think anybody knew about. So as you can see, the car is repaired. I'm not saying it's repaired to the standard that we want it to be repaired to, but it is repaired, and the vehicle was running driving. I would hasten to say that we managed to buy the cheapest running driving E888 Gen 4, which is a platform that's shared with the Golf R Mark 8 and also the 8Y Audi S3 and a number of other VAG cars that are in there. But like I say, we didn't particularly, or the owner didn't know what variant of the E888 was actually in this car, and he let it go to us for fairly cheap. There was some invisible damage, so we had a problem, or we do have some issues with the radar on the front. We had to kind of find what the issue was with that, and there was a plug that had been poorly repaired. I'm not sure where this car came from. I don't think I can say a specific place, but we're in Leeds, and it was probably from somewhere very close to Leeds where it hadn't been correctly repaired.
Is it somewhere beginning with a B?
It might be that place, yeah, Beeford. Anyway, somewhere roundabouts there. Anyway, we've got our hands on it, and we are going to repair it correctly. So we found a damaged plug that's underneath there, which I think is basically the full CAN bus line that controls the parking sensors and also the front radar, and I think something to do with dip headlights and a few other kind of things like that. So we've managed to solder the wire that we found that was broken, so we jumped a little bit ahead. We don't really have that much time in the garage to just film absolutely everything, but what we did find was another problem. So the vehicle was leaking oil and Aidan took the vehicle home and said, well, if it being a new car, that he'd definitely be able to park it on his in-laws drive, and parked it on the in-laws drive, and it then subsequently evacuated and gushed some oil onto the drive.
Yeah, not happy. Drive's only a year old,
yeah,
Jay.
well, we targeted that down and narrowed it down, and we found that we do actually have a very poorly repaired end seal on the DSG gearbox, and so it was actually leaking oil from here, and this is what we found when we took the actual inside out to see what the damage was. So it was leaking from there, and they'd put some kind of rubber cap over it. Anyway, we did speak to TPS and Audi about replacing the seal cap. I'm going to actually take you off into the other room and show you what was damaged shortly, but we spoke to them, and they said that comes as part of the gearbox, and therefore if we wanted to replace the damaged part, we would therefore have to replace the gearbox. Now the gearbox came in at £8,257, I believe, somewhere in there. It might be 42p as well there that we missed off. But what we're saying was essentially, for me, I said I think that should be illegal because this part has its own part number. The seal cap has its own part number. It's manufactured separately from the box, and therefore it should be readily available should some damage occur, not someone being led to believe that they would need to have a new gearbox installed. Anyway, we spoke to our motor parts factors up at Motor Parts Direct. Actually, I'm going to give them a shout out because they're really good guys. They do anything for us. We give them a bit of a task, we give them a part number, set them off on a little Google mission, and they found actually that there is an aftermarket part for this made by L-Ring, and they sent that part out and it cost £20. So there's a bit of a difference between removing the gearbox and replacing a £20 seal. But what we're going to do is we're going to clean up all this crap that's been left on here, and we're going to actually replace the seal properly. We also had a creak, so we believe that when it was repaired they didn't potentially replace the top mount, and as you've seen on the HPI check, the wheel was actually facing this way, which means that the whole strut was probably twisted around in there and damaged the top mount. But we believe that they've probably just put this back together. So what we're going to do is we are going to, there was some damage as well to the CV boot. Did you get that one down there?
No, mate, you're going to have to show the...
Yeah. So the CV boot was split and damaged just here, and basically we don't believe there's any grease in there, so that's been kind of making some noise. So we've got a CV boot repair kit for that. And
Couldn't really see that, Jay, but
yeah, well, you'll see it shortly because we're going to have the drive shaft out, and you'll be able to see what we're doing. So we're going to repair the CV boot, and we're going to replace the top mount, and we're also going to replace a set of drop links on there, and we're hoping that should stop the creaking and knocking that we've been experiencing since we've got the vehicle. And we're also going to give it a full DQ 381 service because we don't know how little oil is in that box anymore, because if it was leaking to the amount that it was leaking on your drive, Aidan, then we would definitely like to make sure that there is enough oil in there. But then other than that, the rest of this car is actually going to be really quite fun. So as I say, it is a project of ours, it is our shop car. We are going to be putting some Club Sport discs and some Mintex MRM 1801 compounds on the front to improve the braking, because when we received the car it had a map on there, and again I shouldn't really call out mappers, but there was a mapper who mapped this, essentially this MK8 Golf R platform, and it felt like it was fully detuned. Anyway, us being us, and we are racing line dealers, obviously we've put the OEM software on there, and this car is night and day. It's actually an animal. It's fast. It's really quite quick. I'm quite impressed with it. So we just need to make sure that everything is up, running, driving the way that it should be, and that's what we're on with today. So we just thought we'd just introduce you to our EA888 Platform 4, and we are going to show you how we take it from essentially stock power, which I think is just short of 300 brake horsepower, all the way up to around about 450, 455 brake horsepower, and what parts are going to be involved in that. And then if you've got a Cupra Ateca that you want to bring into us, you can bring it into us. For now, we're just going to get on with repairing some of the damage that has been caused by them trying to repair the damage.
I thought you wanted to talk about the seal in the office.
Oh yeah, do you want me to go and show you?
Yeah.
You've seen this. It's like a chicken fillet, isn't it? So they put a chicken fillet over it like that. Oh, it was a bit saggy though. It's bad, isn't it? Look. We've been very busy at the unit. We've not had very much time tidying up. I think that's going to happen this weekend. Please ignore the software bay. Yeah, it's an absolute state. You seen our big pink barrel of coolant? It's that new G12 Evo stuff. So I'm going to show you the other DQ381 box, because we actually replaced one of these recently for an Audi S38V customer, and we actually had this box to hand. So you're probably thinking, why didn't you take off the seal that was on this? And the reason being is although they look rubber, it's actually a metal seal that's rubber backed, and once you kind of pop that seal out, it will never go back to the same shape and it won't seal again. So you need to have a perfectly circular one that you can basically equally pop back into its place. But I've got that in my office, so I'm going to go and show you. So not £8,257, thank you very much TPS. we will just replace
Do you want to
the
start
actual
that again?
Yeah, because I
Should do
burped
the right
halfway
burp,
through. That was
yeah.
disgusting, really.
Yeah,
Not
and then
everyone
carried
says
on
burp.
like nothing happened. I can't edit that one out, mate.
This is the end cap seal. As you can see, it's like ridged on the side. So basically, once you put this in equally, because it's made of metal and rubber, it will make a perfect seal, and therefore the oil can then not penetrate and come out. So like I say, we couldn't have replaced it with one of the ones that were in there, because in order to get them out, you're going to have to bend this seal, and they will never ever come back to the perfect shape, and you'll then have the oil pass through there. So that's what I'm going to be on with. James is going to be on with getting the strut out, and we are then going to be able to kind of make some headway and see whether we can get this vehicle working the way that it should be.
What have you come bursting in here for, mate?
Oh, so behind the broken end seal, we then found another seal that had then been damaged as well. Now,
I've got to keep this still, Jay, because I know you like to move things around when you talk about them. But you're on YouTube now.
well,
That is very, very damaged.
well, it's
isn't
not
it?
sealing what it's meant to be sealing, because it has a big hole in it. So when it's taken the damage, obviously it's hit there. Now what we've then done is, as I said, we replaced a DQ381 very recently, and we kept the box basically for a strip down, exactly to kind of have a look and see what we needed to do. And obviously within this box, the seal that was damaged on the one that we had bought was behind the also damaged seal. So that was on the other side there, and it had gone straight through into there. There was no damage underneath, so this ring here was fine, but this was damaged. So we have stolen said seal from this one, and we have
So we've
inserted it. So we have saved
£8 again.
£8 again, because I'm really damn sure that if I asked TPS this seal here, this one, that probably does have a part number. It probably does have a part number somewhere. Oh no, it did have a part number, but that's
there's an hole through it.
That's gone now. But there will
Maybe
be a
that's
part
a
number in the
zero.
other one. However, when I put it in the other one, it did make that sealing type
Yeah,
feeling
that
that
really
you get when
satisfying
something
noise.
seals, basically, the satisfying noise. So we are just in the process of putting that all back together, and we can then do a service on that gearbox, and that should be that gearbox repaired. Hopefully, when we get to turn the car on, I'll take you around anyway. You can have a quick look and just I'll show you exactly what we did. So here was the damaged outer seal. Here's our new seal. It's going to replace that old seal, and that should hopefully be that side of things repaired. So
I
quite
hope
happy
so,
with
mate.
that.
Yeah, you're going to pop it in then?
£20 repair, yes. So
Pop it in.
I am going to pop it in when James
What's
pops.
James been doing?
He's-
Look at James's knees.
Yeah, James has been.
What's he been doing?
What have you been doing? What have you been up to?
Trying to get a pay rise.
Oh, fair enough.
It's definitely not getting a pay rise.
Really not good enough. What are you doing under there?
I'm trying to remove the drive shaft.
Alright.
Wait a sec, I'm here.
What, is that in your way of your seal?
No, he's taking the.
What, for the
Careful of your fingers here.
CV boot cover?
Yeah.
Alright. What about your seal? I only come to see your seal.
I'm trying to show you, but he's in the way. Right, so you was wanting to see in here, Aidan, so
Yes, I was, yeah.
essentially, where's my new seal? Can you get me a hammer?
Have you got something to, oh yeah, oil filter socket.
Yeah. So that's where the damaged seal was. I've replaced that one, that's inside there, and we are going to now pop this one in once we've just cleaned it down a little bit. Just want to make sure.
There's some brake cleaner behind you.
Yeah.
Don't spray it on my microphone.
There you
I'm not
go.
gonna spray it.
I'll fucking kill you, can. Happy days.
Happy days.
Is
Thank you
that
very much.
the end of your video?
That's the end of. Not well. I mean.
Well, is it the end of this episode?
It's the end of this episode, maybe,
Is
for
it?
now. Like I say, we've got some exciting stuff. I've literally just been on to Vabram Technique. Told him that I want my my full brake set up, so you're going to see that shortly. I'm going to get on to the boys over at Racing Line, and I'm going to let them know that I want a Racing Line intercooler, the new R600 for the Gen 4 platform, and the bigger turbo elbow. And then we are going to be ready for stage 1 plus, which on these is, I believe, 435 brake horsepower, which is absolutely mental. That's crazy power from a stage 1 plus remap. So that's where we're going. Aidan's going to bust out the draggy. We're going to involve some, like, you know, like you're going to get other elements of what's going on in the build. Probably within these episodes, Aidan can give you some other clips, snippets, and I'm just going to get on with what needs to be done today. So,
all right, mate.
Yeah, thanks. See you in a bit.
See you later.
See you later.
Bring me your mic back. Where you
Oh
going?
yeah. You do want that back
Yeah, I
off,
want
mate.
my
You
mic back,
do.
mate.
You
Don't
do.
be getting
You
it
do.
dirty.
Because
I've run off on my mic for, mate.
yeah, I'm running off with the fairy,
don't do
mate.
that,
Go on,
mate.
take it off me.
Don't do that. Cheers, pal.
Cheers, mate.